Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is What If Deku Had a Dragon Quirk Part 8. I just want to say sorry yet again, this will be the only video today. And it's because today I have physics, yay! Uh, but this should be my last test ever whilst I'm at school, because I should be done with it now. And because of the big thing that's going around right now, it means I have to do all my tests in classrooms and I have to do split up into it's all just one big wibbly wobbly mess. But I just want to thank you guys for the support. I'm trying to be a little bit more lively this video because I've just watched back that last video and Jesus Christ, I sounded dead. Like honestly, what what happened? I'm starting to think that getting 5 hours sleep isn't the best way to go. Still doing it, but I still don't think it's the best way to go. Anyway, so if you like this video, like and subscribe. Though I'm gonna be honest, this it's kind of dwindling in views. I've left it too long, if that makes sense. I need to get more videos out in one day, but I simply just don't have time. Hence why I'm doing this. 7 in the morning. Yay! Right, let's just jump into it. Ugh, I'm doing this. Right, okay. So Deku, who's just ran away from the fallen robot that was put off balance by Todoroki, ran through it, realized it was basically safe for everyone else. If not, he was going to save anyone who's under the robot. And he realizes all it's going to do is slow people down because Kirishima and Tetsu all have the hardening quirk, so it'll just slow them down, if that makes sense. So, anyway, Deku continues running, and then he walks up to to the next obstacle. He realizes that there's two ways to get past this obstacle. He could jump in between the big pillar rocks, or he can crawl across the rope. Deku's like, well, I might as well, and he activates. Um, well, no, he keeps on 2 times body amplification, and he jumps across, swings off the rope, if you know what I mean, and uses the momentum he got from the swing to go over to the other side, and he only just clips the edge. So he's like, okay, that's not safe. He pulls himself up, and then he's thinking, okay, that's not safe. Now I have two options. I can either jump up to 10, or I can do that, or I can crawl across the rope like a normal person at 2 times. He decides to crawl across the rope at 2 times, which means he does do it quite quickly. Uh, and the reason he does this is to save energy, because they don't want to overuse energy now, because he is going to have to keep his energy for the last couple of rounds. Now you're probably wondering what happened to the 5 minute limit. Well, due to him going overboard in his energy, the 5 minute limit has now been moved up to an hour, but the 10 times one still takes a lot more energy, and it is now, but it has moved up to 2 minutes now, and you're probably like, that don't make sense, but it kind of does, cause yeah, because 10 times takes a lot of energy, and it takes more energy. It just takes a lot of energy. So anyway, Deku, he struggles across the ropes, and then he realizes Todoroki had to do the same thing. Uh, and this is when Bakugo is ahead. So Bakugo is ahead on this part, but Bakugo does have to avoid the mines next, which slows him down as he's the first one to do so. Todoroki chooses to go the other side of the minefield away from Bakugo and uses his ice to walk across. And Deku's like, I mean, if I use 10 times here, it could be smart, but I'm not going to. So Deku starts to walk across, but he walks across behind Bakugo. Deku realizes if he gets flat third place, it's probably a lot better than overusing his energy. So he just waits it out at 2 times after getting past the bombs at 1 times, because he's got to be careful at the bombs. So then he jumps up to 2 times body amplification, and just finishes a race. He finishes in third place, which is still fantastic, but it's not first place, which means he doesn't have the big, the big point thing where they put 1,000,000 points on the person that came first place. The person that did come first place is actually Bakugo, and the reason why is because he's innately faster than Todoroki, because he can use his explosions to boost him ahead, if that makes sense. So, personally, I think Bakugo should have absolutely annihilated that race, because he can also fly, so I don't know why he didn't just fly past all of it, or did he? Did he get... I think he got stuck in ice, and I think I completely ignored that, but I can't be asked to retcon it now. So yeah, Bakugo wins by quite a bit. Then it's quickly followed up by Todoroki and Deku, and what I just said contradicted each other, so we're just going to move past it. Yes, yeah. Uh, right, so what's next? It is the jockey race thing. So Midnight explains the event to the students, and then the students go to everybody. Quite a lot of people want Todoroki and Deku. Basically, no one wants Bakugo, but Kirishima teams up with him as his best mate, and people follow Kirishima. This creates the certain teams. Now, I am only going to go over the teams of Deku. Yeah, I'm only going to go over the teams of Deku, the ones with Bakugo. Okay, I'll go over as many teams as I think I can remember or that are important. So, there's a Class 1B team, then there's Deku's team. Deku's team has him on it, Uraka on it, the Mei Hatsume, I've learnt the names, Tokoyami, wait, I forgot, right, so Deku, Uraka, Tokoyami, Mei Hatsume, and that's just the same as normal. Um, yeah, we'll keep that. Um, yeah, we'll just keep the same as normal, just minus Mineta with Froppy. Does Mineta go with Froppy? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, and also Momo ended up a little bit earlier, but that's a bit irrelevant because, yeah. So anyway, uh, the race starts, and straight away they all go for Todoroki. This includes Deku, but Deku's team goes about it differently. He realizes that there is one team from Class 1B that is going after all the weaker bands, so they decide to take him out first, targeting him to take out all their bands. That works successfully, and that is when they then start going for Todoroki. So now they have enough bands for them to get in, but they want to basically secure themselves because they have all the bands from another group from Class 1B that were planning to nick other people's bands. Does that make sense? By bands, I mean the headbands. Sorry, gotta clear that up. So, um, then he goes after one of. Then he goes after not Todoroki's group, Bakugo's group. That is when Bakugo tries to fly up in the air, and Deku says, "Haha, I've been planning for this. Uraka, now. Hey, Mei Hatsume, you follow her up." And what they do is Uraka uses his quirk on Uraka uses her quirk on Deku, and then Mei Hatsume uh, pushes him up, and then pushes him in the certain direction with a jetpack. So Deku's now flying after Bakugo, and then uh, Deku, uh, Deku, Uraka, and Mei time it perfectly due to Mei's good sight and Mei being smart and understanding the angles to basically catch Bakugo. And this is miraculously works, which is very weird because it was a very like um I want to say bad plan. Because it was very impossible to pull off, but they did. And that's when Deku steals Bakugo's headband, and then Uraka releases his quirk. Tokuyami's Dark Shadow catches Deku and places him softly back onto the jockey. The jockey, is it called the jockey? I mean the team, and then goes back to defending Deku. That is when Todoroki comes and nicks half of Deku's headbands, but he doesn't know what the points of the headbands are. That is when half of Todoroki's headbands gets nicked, and one more gets nicked from Deku. So Deku's like, okay, if these headbands aren't the right points, we're absolutely screwed. So we're kind of winging it here. We gotta quickly get some more headbands. The time ends. It ends quite quickly. Deku is really shocked and quite scared. Uraka is scared. Everyone else is scared because they don't want to be kicked out of the competition on the second round, but they don't know whether they have more points. So Deku takes off one of the headbands slowly, realizes it reads 50 points. He then takes off his second to last headband. It reads 10 points. He then takes off the last headband and is absolutely excited because it reads 1 million points. Deku got the 1 million points one. The other people that got in is the, of course, Todoroki's group, Bakugo's group, and Shinso's group. Shinso. I don't think I'm saying his name right, so I do apologize. My pronunciation might be a little bit off. It might be a little bit squiffy. But then half of Shinso's group give up because, well, okay, right, so I feel like I should explain why Class 1B was out of it. Class 1B was out of it because they got frozen. Well, the group that is now going to get in because half of Class 1A half of the Shinso's group gave up because they felt like they didn't win and they wanted to get there by themselves. So basically, in the long run, everything turns out the same, other than Deku works a lot more with a team as Uraka, and this time Uraka doesn't feel so much like she's getting carried, but instead feels close as a teammate with Deku. Mei Hatsume has gained more trust, so they're closer friends as well. And Tokuyami, I'm so sorry if that's... Oh, that's the alarm that was used to wake me up. I am so sorry. Anyway, Tokuyami is also closer to Deku now because they all work close as a team, but not as close as Uraka, and Deku actually wants to thank Mei Hatsume. But just to clear things up, everything's the same other than the relationships between the people, and also the fact that they came first place in second round instead of coming first place in the first round. Anyway, so clear things up. Right, so Deku is getting ready for his first fight, and that's when Tail Dude comes in. I am so sorry. I cannot remember his name for the life of me. Tail Dude is like, Deku, this kid you're going against, I think he has a mind control quirk. Make sure to not talk to him. Funny joke. And then Deku basically says, thank you, Tail Dude. Thank you for helping me out here. I think I might have an idea on how to beat him. Anyway, so he walks into the ring with Shinso. Shinso starts by saying, so you're the person that got 1 million points. So how does it feel to be taught by the symbol of peace? People say he's dwindling as a hero. I just don't think he was ever a hero. That's when Deku activates 10 times straight away and says, All Might is the symbol of peace. He's the best hero ever. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. I don't know. I, I don't know. I've lost it. Um, I'm gonna try and show you a fraction of his power and a fraction of his heroism. We'll go with that. And that's when Deku answers a question. So he gets instantly locked in Shinso's mind control. But something weird is going on. So, due to Deku's energy being controlled by his conscious all the time, a bit like how we have sensory reactions, we can stop them with our brain, but we don't really think about pulling it. When you've got a hot pan there, you don't think about, oh, the pan's hot, we're gonna pull away. You just do it. This is a bit like what Deku does with his energy quirk, and what he was learning to do was release it. So now that his conscience has been totally taken over, that means all the part of his brain that's like suppressing his quirk has now gone. So this means that all the electricity that is building up is now building up at a rapid pace his body cannot handle, which means after about a minute of being put in this mind controlled state, Deku's going to go into critical and explode with lightning, which is it's not too bad for him, but he could never do it consciously because of the amount of energy it's gonna take for him to think about creating that much energy. If that makes sense. So he's going. Basically, what's happening to him is he's going critical, which is all because he's been put unconscious state. So 30 seconds pass as Shinso mocks Deku and starts to tell him to go out of the ring. Deku's hero's conscience is stopping Shinso from controlling him as much as he usually is. He's very surprised by Deku's ambition, and that's when he realizes he's losing grip of his conscience. But he doesn't think it's because of this. He thinks his conscience is kind of waking up from his mind control, and he realizes it's because something's going to happen. That is when it happens. Deku explodes with energy, and for a second, he goes into the I want to say half dragon mode, where his claws start materializing, uh, his and wings on his back start materializing. Nothing does materialize as there's not enough energy there. But Deku uses a new mode, which is 20% muscle augmentation, but he can only use this for 30 seconds. Deku quickly unactivates this mode and realizes he has his own consciousness. That's when he starts running towards Shinso with 2%, 2 times muscle augmentation, also known as 2 muscle augmentation from now onwards. I'm not going to say the time sometimes because, yeah. So he starts running towards Shinso. Shinso tries to persuade him not to, if that makes sense. Like, be like, oh, you think you're ever going to be as good as a symbol of peace? Do you even think the symbol of peace was any good? And just basically mess with his head. This time Deku doesn't talk. Punches Shinso quickly. Um, Punches Shinso, pulling back his punches, of course. And this punch knocks Shinso to the ground. And then Deku picks him up and drops him over the ring. Not like a full-on drop that would hurt him. He picks him up and places him past the ring, which basically has defeated Shinso. Shinso. Sorry if I'm saying his name wrong again. This is where I'm going to leave this part because I am running out of time. I'm doing this before school, and I promise, I know I said this yesterday, but I promise I'll be more prepared another day. I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to apologise for being slow, I guess, and thank you again, and goodbye.